Members of the Board of Education, Mayor Barbario, our wonderful faculty, parents, family members, friends, and the class of 2015. When it came time to write this speech, I was at a loss. Apparently I have to welcome everyone to graduation, so I thought there was a specific salutatorian format to my speech that I was missing. Naturally, I Googled how to write a salutatorian speech, and what do you know, I get a WikiHow link. Now, I've searched many how-tos. How to not cry during the A-push exam, how to learn all of physics in 24 hours. But the most annoying thing of all is that the link read how to write a salutatorian speech with pictures. Now, how in the world were pictures going to help me write a speech? There was a picture of a stopwatch with a 15-minute time limit on it. Well, I actually have about 3 minutes, so that didn't really help. Then there was a picture of a piece of paper with "speech goes here" written on it. Well, of course it was going to be on paper. It's not like we have iPads or anything. Despite my comic remarks at these ridiculous photos, I was surprisingly inspired to create my own how-to. How to be successful with one picture. If I may ask the graduating class, please raise your hand as high as you can. I'll do it with you. As high as you can. Now I'm willing to bet that no one is actually raising their hand as high as they can, because every single person here can raise their hand at least 2 inches higher. Go ahead, try it. See? No one actually raised their hand their highest the first time around, but instead everyone was pushed to reach even higher than before. And that's exactly the image I want all of you to have. Remember when we were all young and tried to see how many staircases we could jump from? Once you got to 2, you would go to 3, and so on and so forth until you reached the 5th or 6th one. Yet right when you're about to jump, you stop yourself, thinking you can't do it. But eventually you muster up all the courage in your little 8-year-old heart and take the leap. What you never realize is that within those same 15 minutes, you were always able to jump from the 5th step all along. You just never knew it. Sitting right here, there are so many things we can do right this instant, but we just haven't realized it yet. Right when we think we hit the limit of our abilities, we surprise ourselves and accomplish even greater feats. To be successful, you cannot limit yourself. You have to keep pushing yourself to new ends. What we think is our best is simply in our minds because we are capable of so much more. To the class of 2015, I urge you to think beyond what you believe you can accomplish right now. Instead, think about what you dream of accomplishing in your life, because chances are you're more than capable of achieving that dream right now. To the graduating class, if you think you're sitting up nice and tall, you're mistaken, because you can sit up a little taller. If you truly believe you're the happiest you've ever been to be graduating from Parsippany Hills, you can smile a little bit more. And if you feel you're the proudest version of yourself today, feel prouder, because you are all part of the best graduating class the school has ever seen. We have everything in the world to be proud of, but always keep striving and never limit yourself. They say we can reach for the stars, and we really can, as long as we reach 2 inches at a time. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. DeSanto, Mr. Rixford, members of the Board of Education, Mayor Barbario, distinguished guests, respected faculty, parents and guardians, friends, and the class of 2015. I'll admit, hearing that I got to make a speech at graduation, I became pretty excited. Actually getting the chance to speak on behalf of my entire class to a group of individuals, which includes some of the most amazing and most important people in our lives. I quickly began jotting down random ideas last year itself, trying to remember all the events that I had to highlight. I thought I was ready, but then it dawned on me, and I actually had to start writing it. This past week, I had honestly been dreading doing that, not only because it meant that I needed to find some message to impart on my peers, but it also meant that this chapter in our lives was truly coming to a close. It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times, but mostly the worst of times. Let's just talk about what we had to go through this year alone, with all the extra amounts of testing we endured, especially while we were trying to focus on all our college apps. Just kidding. We've had a pretty amazing time at Par Hills. Yes, even all of you that just laughed at the fact that I just said that, you know that you've had a few endearing moments from the school. Let's start way back when, to freshman year, when we walked the large halls with eager eyes, waiting to see our new lockers that were all surprisingly still smaller than Brooklyn's, and our new teachers who were waiting to calm our nerves. We were the babies of the school, not knowing many others or where to go in such an unfamiliar place that we'd soon call home. But we followed the greatest advice that anyone could give to a little freshie. Just continue walking. The building's a circle, so you'll get there eventually. Soon, we went from bug-eyed little freshmen to the grand title of sophomores, who studied hard, but partied harder at all the Sweet 16s. We cannot forget how our school spirit was at an all-time high that year with our beloved Mr. Ludwig's guidance. He brought back our alma mater, which we all proudly know today, since it's still played every Friday on the PA, and he even wrestled Ron for our own entertainment. We eventually advanced to our next coveted title of upperclassmen when we became juniors, but we soon learned that that title was a double-edged sword. On one hand, we were so close to being seniors, but on the other hand, we were really just starting our college careers with the onset of SATs, ACTs, APs, and whatever else the great moneymaker wanted to throw at us. Throughout all this stress, we managed to live through the hurricanes and even enjoy Mrs. Ramson's flash mobs, as well as partake in a lunch break or two. But this year, by far, had to have been the most hectic. The one year that should have been the most familiar to us was by far the craziest year that we've experienced. But luckily, we've had each other to make it through. With all our random days off, with those horrible icy conditions and heavy snowfall, we still managed to enjoy each other's company at IHOP for breakfast on all the park days that we refused to arrive on time. And even at that senior field day we had a couple days ago. See, I told you we had some great memories. We've not only made many memories at Par Hills, but we are also the most memorable. Our class is certainly like no other grade we've had before. We have the most well-rounded students that this school has ever seen. We have not only nationally ranked musicians and competing athletes, but also one of the overall smartest classes that Par Hills has seen. So smart, in fact, that almost half our grade qualified to apply for our school's National Honor Society chapter based on GPA alone. So good, in fact, that we didn't have any issues at our homecoming or evening dance for the first time in Mr. DeSanto's career. So hardworking, in fact, that our football team came back from losing to Cranford freshman year to beating them in our state championships this season. Before I conclude, I would like to thank all our teachers who have supported us here since we started our journey. We can never express our gratitude enough, so again, I say thank you. I would also like to take a moment to appreciate all our friends and family, without whom we would certainly not have made it to this joyous day. Finally, I would like to thank the members of this class for allowing me to have the wonderful pleasure of representing them for these past 4 years. We've truly made some great, lasting memories, and ones that I know I'll surely never forget. So here's to us and to making history. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2015.